There was a time when Sundays in Italy felt like the world exhaled. Streets softened to a hush, shutters opened to sunlight, and the air filled with the scent of tomato sauce, soap-damp floors, and fresh bread breathing under a linen cloth. Church bells stitched the morning together, slow, patient, certain, calling not just to Mass, but to the table, to each other, to the rhythm of a life that knew how to pause. Before we walk back into those kitchens and courtyards, take a moment to subscribe to the Italy we remember. Every week we bring back the sounds, flavors, and small rituals that kept a country's heart beating. Join us, and let's keep these Sundays alive, one memory at a time. Close your eyes and let it be. 1963. A small apartment glows gold through lace curtains. The mocha pot murmurs on the stove, its soft rush rising like breath before a laugh. A radio voice, warm and clear, names distant cities as if they were rooms in your own house. On the coat stand, good jackets hang ready for Mass. Polished shoes wait below like obedient punctuation. Somewhere, a grandmother measures salt with her fingers and time with her nose, tasting not just for flavor, but for memory. Outside, the village wakes gently. Buongiorno. Buona domenica. The words move like light through the piazza. People walk unhurried, children skipping to match the bells. Inside the church, the air is cool, wax, wood, a thread of incense unwinding toward the rafters. Families fit together on wooden benches, shoulders touching. The prayers are simple: health, work, peace, and the silence between them says the rest. When doors open again, all of Italy seems to flow home at once, as if each house has tied a thin string around its family and is gently reeling them back. Because the heart of Sunday isn't the pew or the piazza, it's the table. In the kitchen, the choreography is old and flawless. A white cloth is smoothed with the flat of a palm until it lies quiet. Plates don't match, and that's part of the charm. Each one remembers a celebration, a crack repaired, a year survived. Glasses catch sunlight and throw it against the wall in small, bright fish. Basil stands in a tumbler of water like flowers. A wooden spoon taps the pot, a sound older than the radio, older than the house. Across the country, the menu changes, but the meaning doesn't. In the north, polenta spreads on a board like a yellow field, steam rising in slow banners. Mushrooms crown it, or a sauce that tastes of forest and patience. In the center, lasagne al ragu breathe when they're cut, layers settling with a sigh, or a roast glows under sprigs of rosemary and garlic. In the south, pasta al forno arrives with edges crisp to perfection, eggplant stacked in velvet layers, salad sparkling with tomatoes that taste like sunlight. Somewhere a fish lies in lemon and oil. Somewhere else potatoes split their skins and surrender to the fork. Children orbit the stove like planets. One steals the heel of bread and baptizes it in the sauce, an act so sacred no one scolds. An uncle helps by tasting the roast repeatedly. An aunt ties an apron twice and laughs at a joke that's been told every Sunday since forever. A bottle of red breathes on the counter. A carafe of water sweats gently. The kitchen is church, the table, altar, the meal, prayer, and answer. Then comes the call, half command, half blessing. A tavola! Chairs scrape, hands wash. Conversations gather themselves and sit down. The first bite is silent, the old silence of gratitude. It's not just food entering the mouth, it's time and land and the work of many hands. Bread follows every plate, saving every last streak of sauce because nothing is wasted, not food, not time, not love. Talk rises like warm air. Football, politics, a cousin's mischief, a neighbor's baby, the price of peaches. Life empties its pockets and lays everything on the table. Jokes know their marks. They land on the same laugh every week and never grow old. Someone pours wine with a piano that means say when, but pours past it anyway. Someone else insists they're full, then accepts seconds with a groan of joy. After the proud dishes, pasta, roast, polenta, a crisp salad arrives like a cool hand on a warm forehead. Then fruit. Oranges cut into boats, peaches dribbling down wrists, figs split to show a pink cathedral inside. The sweetness is ordinary and holy. Coffee changes the shape of the day. Tiny cups, dark strength. A spoon clinks once against porcelain. The sound feels like a closing parenthesis. Maybe torta di mele, maybe ciambellone, maybe just amaretti in a tin with a lid that snaps shut, promising to keep what it cannot keep. Children hunt for the cookie with the most sugar-like treasure maps read to the end. After lunch, time loosens. The house exhales. Men lean back, hands over satisfied stomachs, shoes quietly abandoned. Women clear plates in a rhythm that's half work, half conversation, sending each other away and calling each other back in the same breath. In the living room, a voice on the radio threads drama from goals and minutes. Tutto il calcio minuto per minuto. A cheer in Turin ripples as a murmur in Palermo. A groan in Florence thumps a table in Bari. For a few minutes, the peninsula inhales and exhales as one lung. Outside, afternoon opens like a book you've read 100 times and still love. Boys kick a ball against a wall already written with games. Girls jump rope, the rope whispering on warm stone. Laundry sighs on balconies, white flags of noble surrender. A neighbor calls, "Caffè più tardi?" And the answer is automatically yes, because Sunday is a place with room for one more cup. If there is a car, and by the mid-60s there often is, La Gita begins. A tiny Fiat clears its throat. The family piles in like laughter. Windows down, elbows out. A road that unspools between cypresses towards sea or hills, or a cousin who never lets you leave empty-handed. The destination is less important than the ride, counting red cars, pointing at the horizon, accepting a slice of bread folded around cheese like a letter you can eat. The world goes by at the perfect speed for noticing. Toward evening, the Passeggiata calls. People dress again, not fancy, just neat, and step out to be seen and to see. The town becomes a living room with no roof. Bar windows glow. A lemon soda in a small glass is suddenly a jewel. Gelato orders turn into poetry. Crema, nocciola, pistachio, limone. Coins clink, faces shine, shadows lengthen. The shoemaker greets the teacher. The teacher nods to the grocer. The grocer tips his head to the grandmother, who knows exactly how long tomatoes take to forgive the day. Listen closely and you can hear Sunday folding itself with care. A domani. A domenica prossima. Shutters clap. Dishes tap softly as they're stacked. Kitchens warm again for a light supper. Leftovers. A wedge of cheese. A tomato sliced with oil and salt. The radio dims to a memory of melody. A mother irons a collar for Monday. A father winds a watch. A child, stubbornly awake, slips into sleep mid-sentence. The last light makes a quiet square on the tiles. Someone stands in it longer than necessary, as if the floor could remember their footprint until next week. These were the real Sundays, the ones that taught Italy how to stop without losing its stride, to refuel by gathering, to make a sacrament of the ordinary. They didn't need perfection. The tablecloth kept its stains like footnotes to joy. Plates were chipped and beloved. The roast sometimes ran late. The pasta sometimes went soft. It didn't matter. The point was presence, and the promise, kept week after week, that the door would open and the chairs would fill, and the slow miracle would happen again. Even if you weren't there, born later, born elsewhere, you know this rhythm. It lives in the human appetite for a day that's set apart, a meal that binds, a walk that turns streets into stories. It lives in your longing to speak and be heard without looking at a clock, to be full in ways food alone can't claim. People say we lost those Sundays. Maybe. Or maybe they're waiting at the edge of our week, as near as a choice. Choose a slower morning. Choose the good napkins for no reason. Call someone to the table in the voice your Nonna used, half command, half love. Let the coffee be an event. Walk after dinner with empty hands and open eyes. Notice how, at a certain angle, your town looks like a photograph and smells like home. Do these small things, and Sunday returns, not because time rewinds, but because love remembers how. If this journey sounded like something you've tasted or touched, if it brought back a room, a voice, a chair pulled close, subscribe to the Italy we remember. Tell us about your Sunday. What did you eat? Who sat where? What did the bells sound like from your street? Your memory might become someone else's homecoming, and together we'll keep the map back to what matters: family, time, and the simple grace of stopping together.